Hey everyone, and welcome to our first video learning about the Progressive Era. After watching this video, you will be able to explain the causes and effects of the Progressive Era. Now, let's jump into the material. I want you to imagine a world of rapid technological change. Most of you are probably thinking of today, but in fact, you could also be thinking of the first era we will be discussing in United States history, known as the Progressive Era. The era begins around the mid-1890s and goes all the way up until 1920. It overlaps two other eras, the Age of Imperialism when the United States expanded its borders, and the Great War, better known as World War I, which started in 1914 and ended in 1918. The Progressive Era has three main presidents, which we will go more in depth on later in this unit. But as you will see by the end of this unit, the Progressive Era is relevant and important to modern American life.
As the United States entered the 1890s, this new era, the Progressive Era, was beginning. For starters, the nation was modernizing. Cities began to balloon with new residents as the nation underwent urbanization. Immigrants arrived from around the world, and industrialization helped create a class of extremely wealthy individuals. Each change brought many benefits to the nation. While all this sounds well and good, there were some serious challenges and difficulties brought on by this rapid change. This included unsafe housing, extreme racism, poor working conditions, lack of women's rights, poor education standards, child labor, government corruption, and much more.
Many Americans were fed up with these problems and injustices. In response, a movement called progressivism emerged in the 1890s. Progressives is the name given to people who believe that new ideas and honest, efficient government could bring about reform that would improve society. Progressives came from all walks of life, rich and poor, religious and non-religious. They all had the goal of improving society. The goal of progressives was ultimately to return the power of government back to the common people by demanding their state legislatures and the federal government to enact laws to address the issues of society previously mentioned.
A major catalyst for the reform movements was a group of progressive journalists and writers called Muckrakers. Muckrakers dramatized the need for reform by writing sensational investigative reports that uncovered a wide range of ills affecting America in the early 1900s. The name Muckraker came from the president at the time, Theodore Roosevelt, because these journalists wrote about the ugliest side of things. A muckrake is actually a tool used to clean manure and hay out of animals' stables. We will talk more about Roosevelt in an upcoming video.
Ultimately, progressives and muckrakers wanted to use the government to fix society's issues. In this unit, we will focus on three main areas where progressives hope to improve society. This includes economic reforms, political reforms, and social justice reforms. Okay everyone, in future videos we will be talking more about these topics. So be sure to check out our next video on economic reforms.